So I'm reading some manga other than reading the stuff from my actual readathon. So here we have Attack on Titan Volume 1. Sounds like an interesting premise, so never seen the anime, and I was lucky enough to find, the first book. Then we have Sailor Moon Volume 12. Kind of flip it so you can see the actual cover. That one's not too bad. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of these covers because they're usually kind of plain, but this one's kind of cute. This one's not manga, but it's Spirits of the Wild, so it's like nature myths, and they're really short, but I've been enjoying them so far. And then we have Bone Volume 2, which isn't manga, but it is a graphic novel. So there is a new Nightwish music album called Yesterwind. This is my first time listening to it. I don't remember when it came out. I think it's only been out for like a few days or so. If not, actually just came out. They released, a song, I think it's entitled Perfume of the Timeless or something, that they did a few months ahead of time to kind of obviously promote the album and everything. And it got me thinking about kind of like the music related videos I want to do for the channel and possibly popcorn and earbuds. Now, I love Nightwish. I have for a few years now. So I don't have any thoughts, like too many thoughts right now, just because it's my first listen, and obviously there are things that you miss in books, movies, etc. when you first consume it, right? Because there's so much going on. So it's gonna probably take, a couple listens to get through like all the lyrics and everything else. So far I love it. I love Flora's vocals, but it almost feels like it's too contained on like studio music, because the two times that I did see Nightwish, I seen them with her. I've never seen Taria or Annette. The two Annette albums are one of my most, or two, actually, I should say, of my most favorite of Nightwish. While I did really love Taria's voice, I do kind of prefer the later stuff because I feel they put a little bit more of that storybook-esque folk type and other things mixed with it. Not that they didn't before, but it seems a little bit more whimsical now. Whereas before it seems a little bit more heavy on the heavy metal side. And obviously there's nothing wrong with that. They are a metal band. But I just feel like as they've gone on, they've expanded a lot more. I still love the Taria era though. Sleeping Sun, is a fantastic song. It's one of my favorites. But getting back to what I was saying in Floor, I think she's like a good balance between the first two that they had, and I loved them live. It just feels, I don't know, trapped, contained, like her vocals and everything. If that makes any kind of sense, because like the instrumentals, the music, you know, it's just like big, epic, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's fantastic. I always love the music itself. When it comes to Nightwish, it's just big and beautiful and emotional and very fantasy-like, which I love. But I was thinking of doing maybe music wrap-ups, because like people do book wrap-ups, they do movie wrap-ups, and I'm thinking of listening to just like full albums and kind of just doing a wrap-up on that, because you know, mostly I'm listening to individual songs and not like a whole thing, right? So maybe I'll pick like maybe at least 5 a month to listen just straight through, and I'll do a wrap up, and then maybe I'll do like a more in-depth one on my second channel, Popcorn and Earbuds, because we don't have any music related videos on that, and you definitely should check out Popcorn and Earbuds. We need a lot more subscribers. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking of doing that. I need to get back to my music ranking. I did have comments on my one from Lana Del Rey, but not Lorde, which kind of surprised me because Lorde is a very good artist. But I have to do Marina and Alison Sudol, or as she was formerly known, A Fine Frenzy. I'm not sure which ones I will do. I might cover Marina first. But yeah, I gotta get back to my ranking videos, which will be on this channel. I think the more individual song, album kind of thing will be split between this one and more in depth on the second channel. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking right now, is to do something interesting with music related videos, because not too many people I'm seeing doing something like that. So I think that might be a little interesting. I got up to 12,000 words on my Jackalope story. I wanted to finish it in October, and maybe I will. Maybe at some point you guys will be able to read it for, you know, October, spooky season. If not, you can read it at any time of the year. It's not a Halloween-based book or anything like that. But, you know, it's kind of fun to read it at this time. But I got a lot more to write. I got a lot more to edit. As I've stated in a previous video a little while ago, that I will no longer be doing NaNoWriMo because of the things that I've heard. As we say, I don't want to support something like that. However, it is disappointing in some ways because, you know, it was a fun challenge. I really enjoyed doing it. I never won. Never won NaNoWriMo. Never got up to the 50,000 word mark, because I've was reading books during that time, you know, working on some other projects, I have a regular job that I have to go to, so it's like, you know, it's kind of hard. But what I wanted to do is in October, and I think I'm just going to apply this to the Jackalope story. And if I move on to something else and I finish that, great. But I wanted a goal. Because I did the Octo-Readathon, right, for this month. That's my readathon for October. And it's like an 8 prompt thing because technically Octo is 8, despite the fact that it is the 10th month. So I went with 8 prompts. So what I decided to do was kind of do like an Octo version of NaNoWriMo for myself, where I want to write at least 800 to, and this is kind of a high goal, 8,000 words per week in the month of October. So on Friday, by the time Friday night hits, you will know if I completed the goal. Like, I'll update it at least every Friday. So what do you think about that? Also, I've been kind of thinking that well, as you guys know, I'm going to be doing just individual reviews from now on. Like, if you've been on the channel, been watching, obviously you know that, but for like the newcomers, I'm no longer doing, wrap-ups anymore. And while there are so many books I want to get to, eventually I'm going to be rereading a few books, because while I love them, there's some things I don't quite remember in great detail, and that's just because I've been trying to fit in these books to make a monthly wrap-up. And it's like, I don't remember this. Who was this character, or what was their name again? That kind of thing, right? And then when you look it up, it's like, oh yeah, okay, I remember this. I remember that scene. That was a good scene. But it's like, I just rush so much, I don't really get to enjoy the story. And, it's kind of my own fault for getting, absorbed into that booktube challenge. I have to read so much kind of thing, which I love reading, but it's like, it becomes more of a challenge, a way to keep up with others than to actually just enjoy reading. I mean, there are some people that are just fast readers. If I didn't have so much going on, maybe I would be. But I really need to start slowing down. Like, obviously I have, because like I said, I'm doing individual reviews, so I don't feel that need to cram a bunch of books in to get a wrap-up done. But still, sometimes, like, I got 2 books right here. You just want to read everything, and you got to slow yourself down, right? Because there are so many stories that just seem so interesting and everything, but if you rush through them, you don't get to enjoy those interesting aspects of them. So yeah, there's probably going to be some books I'm going to reread. That, and sometimes just the audio was kind of poor, so I didn't get everything out of it. 3 main ones I want to reread is the last 2 for the Cure of All series, because I was kind of busy while I was reading the audiobooks, so some things I missed because I want to get on to Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is like the spin-off series. So I'm going to eventually reread the last 2. I don't really need to reread the first one, but just the last 2. And then I might reread Allegiant, which is, yeah, is it Allegiant? Yeah, the last in the Divergent series. That's what I'm thinking. And then I'm gonna, obviously move on to other things too. Well, I'll be reading other things as well. Of course, eventually I would like to reread the series that I enjoyed the first time, but since they're such big books, I'm gonna wait a little while. But yeah, I want to reread those so I can move on to the next series in that same universe and everything. I might eventually reread, because I really did enjoy the characters and the plot and everything. I may eventually reread the Three Dark Crown series and just do individual reviews for that one. That one I'm going to wait a little while on because I just read the prequel. But yeah, I have a lot of reading to do. So far for my Octo Reads-a-thon, I think I am going to read a book called The Ghoul Next Door, which is like a middle grade book, horror novel, whatever you want to call it. Scary, I guess. I don't know if you'd actually call it horror, but spooky-ish book. I got a feeling it's like more of a cartoony-esque Goosebumps kind of thing. Again, middle grade horror. I think I found it in a little library, one of those little free libraries. For my classic and vampire prompt, I'm going to be reading, actually listening to Dracula. So I have those two so far. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the other prompts. I have a couple of Goosebump books on my, I don't think it's on my Nook app, I think it's on the Kindle app. Because I think I downloaded them from Amazon. It's like that new House of Shivers, I think it's called, series. So I think I'll be reading one of those possibly for the short story one, like the small book one. But yeah, so far that is what is going on. And see you guys later. Bye-bye.